In this video, I want to show a few examples of how you can use a basic knowledge of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to create small single-file websites that may serve you in various ways. These are not technically websites as they can't be reached outside of your computer. I'd rather call them mini-tools that work in your browser. The first project I want to show is a preview of thumbnails for YouTube videos. I came up with it when I started working on devlog videos for my game Fractal and wanted to see how the high-resolution thumbnail image would look like when scaled down to the miniature size. On the left side there's a list of various iterations of the thumbnail I work on at a given moment, which makes it easy to see which one looks the best, as I want to make sure that all the texts are readable and all the details are clearly visible. On the right side there's a list of all already published thumbnails, which makes it easy to see how the upcoming one would compose with the rest of them. The way it works is I simply put a path to an image inside the HTML file and the script generates a new row of miniatures at the top. I even use this tool to preview a thumbnail for the video you're watching right now. If you want to use this tool to preview your own thumbnails, there's a link to GitHub in the description. Next project is a preview of various fonts, which lets me easily compare combinations of specified fonts and text styles. I can add new interesting fonts, then reload the page and I get the results. The fonts are dynamically requested from Google Fonts by the script. It helped me choose the exact font and text style combination that I later used as a headline in the main menu of my game. Next project is an interesting one because it contains a small level of interactivity. In the last devlog video for my game, I introduced chapter screens separating distinct parts of the video. The easiest way for me to create the graphics for those screens was to use some HTML and CSS for the structure and looks, and a simple script for switching between the chapters. When I was happy with the results, I quickly made a few screenshots representing every chapter using the Firefox screenshot add-on, and imported the images into my video editor. I could have used a graphics editor like GIMP or Photoshop, but the custom script made it possible to rapidly experiment with different texts, fonts, and colors. When I visit various websites, I often find interesting graphics or photos that inspire me in some way or give me new ideas. Some of the websites have a functionality that lets you save those images in a form of likes or favorites, but ideally I'd have those images accessible in one place, grouped by categories or tags representing common themes within those images, instead of having them spread among different websites. This one is more of an experiment, as managing the data with all the categories and images may be somewhat problematic, so I look forward to finding a software that would help me with this properly. The last example is more than just the images grouped by categories, as this one contains additional interrelated data like worlds, levels, locations, and various kinds of enemies I planned for my game. This one actually doesn't use JavaScript yet, as I wasn't sure about the proper data structure to represent all the relations between images and various texts, so I just prototyped the whole thing using HTML only instead, and it's worked so far. So with those examples, I hope I proved that sometimes all you need is a creative use of simple HTML, CSS, and scripting contained in a single small file interpreted by the browser to solve your problem. And I'm sure there's more interesting projects you can create this way. I can also imagine that kind of projects can serve as prototypes for more serious tools that eventually could be shared with other people on the internet.